Good day, students. This is Sir AJ and welcome to Accounting by Sir AJ. For today's lesson, we will be talking about analysis with probability and statistics. In the past, we have been talking about decision making and analysis with parameters that are certain or sure tayo na mangyayari talaga sila. Pero in real life, there are certain parameters or there are certain factors that come with uncertainties. That's why we will be considering probability and statistics in our discussion for today. Take note that we will not discuss the concepts of probability and statistics, but we will focus on the application of probability and statistics to decision-making process and to our analysis. So we will start with descriptive statistics. I will show you how Microsoft Excel can generate the descriptive statistics for us. So when we open Microsoft Excel, for example, meron tayong company, Magic Carpet Company. So for example, ito yung data available for Magic Carpet Company. So meron tayong 10-week data, and for every week, there is a data for demand. So for week 1, 2,900, and so on. Hanggang week 10, there is the demand of 4,500 carpets. So ngayon, normally, ang basic statistics that we compute for are etong average or the mean and the standard deviation. So it's very simple in MS Excel. For the average, you just create the formula average. So equal sign and then type average. And then you just highlight yung mga numbers na gusto mong i-average. That is C14 to C13. So when you click enter, sabi niya, the average demand for the 10-week period is 4,200. Next naman is yung standard deviation. Standard deviation is the rate of variability sa ating demand, kung gaano siya nagpa-fluctuate. Baka kasi merong mga weeks na sobrang taas or merong mga weeks na sobrang baba. So, pag mataas yung standard deviation, ibig sabihin mas varied yung demand data nyo for the weeks. So, for us to do that in MS Excel, we just type the formula STDEV. And then again, you select the numbers na gusto mong i-compute ang standard deviation. That's C4 to C13. When you click enter, the standard deviation is 1,231.98. Okay? So, ito yung mga basic statistics na kino-compute natin when it comes to descriptive statistics. Another way to compute for the statistics of this company is when we use the add-in analysis. So we just go to data, and then yung sa tabi ng solver, there is data analysis. Make sure na chinek nyo to when you installed solver. So when you click data analysis, you choose descriptive statistics. So descriptive statistics, click OK. The input range is yung numbers na gusto mong gawan ng descriptive statistics. So in this case, i-highlight natin yung C3 hanggang C13. Because C3 is our label. Make sure na pag sinali mo yung label, you should check the box labels in first row. And then, in the bottom half, there is this output range. So, pag clinic nyo yun, pwedeng iselect nyo saan niya ilalagay yung descriptive statistics. So, in this case, E3. Pwede nyo ring piliin na merong new worksheet. So, pag new worksheet, ilalagay nyo yung descriptive statistics sa another worksheet. Pag new workbook, mag-open siya ng bagong Excel file. Tapos, you check summary statistics, choose 95%. Normally, ganyan naman talaga. And then check confidence level for mean. When you click OK, lalabas na ang descriptive statistics. So, let's just round this off para maganda tingnan. So when you take a look at the descriptive statistics of demand, the mean or the average is 4,200. The standard error is 389. Meron tayong median, may mode, may standard deviation na 1,231.98, the same as what we computed kanina. Meron pang sample variance, meron pang kurtosis, skewness, range, minimum, maximum, sum, count, and confidence level. So lahat ng yan, dinidiscuss yan sa statistics. No? So doon niya i-explain anong ibig sabihin ng each. We will not discuss that here. But what I showed you is you can generate in MS Excel all the descriptive statistics necessary for a certain set of data. So let's go back. So that's it for descriptive statistics. Now, we will apply this statistics in making decisions. So we will discuss decision analysis. First, we will discuss what are the components of decision making. Normally, when we make decisions, for example, to go or not to go, or to party or not to party, to study or not to study, these are decisions that we make every day. Ano ba yung mga components of making decision? So number one is the state of nature. A state of nature is an actual event that may occur in the future. So normally, pwedeng maraming state of nature, pwedeng isa lang. A payoff table is a means of organizing a decision situation, presenting the payoffs from different decisions given the various states of nature. So payoff table is ano yung magiging effect or impact or consequences ng, or ano yung payoff sa'yo when you make this certain kind of decision given a certain state of nature. So something like this. So meron tayong state of nature, tapos meron kang two kinds of decision. In the table, you will write ano yung magiging payoff mo when you make decision 1 given state of nature A, and so on. So parang ganyan siya. So let's start our discussion with decision making without probabilities first. So what if wala pang probabilities involved? So for example, this is our situation. We make there's this real estate investment example, no? So meron tayong decision dito to make of what real estate should we purchase. Should we purchase apartment building? Should we purchase office building, or should we purchase warehouse? There are two states of nature. Given a number 1, good economic conditions, and number 2, poor economic conditions. If sa good economic conditions, ang payoff for apartment is 50,000, for office 100,000, and for warehouse 30,000. Pero pag poor naman ang economic conditions, apartment payoff is 30,000. Office, it's a negative 40,000, meaning loss ka pa. And then warehouse, 10,000. So given this example, how do we make decisions now? So meron tayong various ways on how to make decisions. We will discuss them one by one. So number 1 is the Minimax criterion. So in the Minimax criterion, what do we do? The decision maker selects the decision that will result in the maximum of the maximum payoffs. This is the optimistic criterion. So if we go back sa ating table, ang maximum dito among the state of natures is yung good economic conditions. And among sa good economic conditions, ang pinaka-maximum payoff is the office building na 100,000. So in the Minimax criterion, ang pipiliin mo kasi optimistic ka is the office building. Ang opposite naman ng Minimax criterion ay Maximin criterion. In this criterion, decision maker selects the decision that will reflect the maximum of the minimum payoffs. This is the pessimistic criterion. So if we go back to our table, ang minimum natin sa given the state of natures is dito tayo sa poor economic conditions. Ang pinaka-maximum sa minimum state of nature is the apartment building na 30,000. So in the maximin criterion, the decision maker will select the apartment building. So maximax and maximin. Number 3 is the minimax regret criterion. Okay? So, ang minimax regret criterion naman ay, this is the regret. We compute for the regret, which is the difference between the payoff from the best decision and all other decision payoffs. So, regret is synonymous with opportunity loss. Okay? So, pag hindi nyo pinili yung best, then ito yung mawawala. Ito yung opportunity loss. Ito yung nasayang no, in Tagalog. So, in our example, di ba ang office building kanina 100,000? Then, ang regret is 0 kasi siya yung highest dito sa grupo na to. Pero ang apartment building, di ba kanina, ang payoff niya is 50,000. So, ang regret for the apartment building is 50. That is 100,000 minus 50,000. For the warehouse, the payoff kanina is 30,000. So the regret is 70,000. Again, minus natin silang lahat sa highest among them. Dito naman sa state of poor economic conditions, ang highest dito is yung apartment building with 30,000 pesos. Kaya siya yung 0 na regret. Ang office building, ang payoff kanina is negative 40. So when we deduct negative 40 from 30,000, the opportunity loss is 70,000 or the regret is 70,000. And then for the warehouse, the payoff kanina is 10,000. So 30,000 minus 10,000 is 20,000. So the regret is 20,000. So in our minimax regret criterion, the manager attempts to avoid regret by selecting the decision alternative that minimizes the maximum regret. So, we will minimize the maximum regret. So, for example, sa apartment building, sa good economic condition, 50. Sa poor economic condition, 0. So, ang maximum sa apartment building na regret ay 50. Sa office building, 0 tsaka 70,000. So, ang maximum regret, 70. So warehouse, ang maximum regret, 70 versus 20. Ang maximum regret ay 70. So comparing the three, 50 versus 70 versus 70, ang minimum regret ay doon na lang tayo sa apartment building because we will minimize the regret at 50,000. So that is for the minimax regret criterion. Okay, next. Now we will have Halwicz criterion. For the Halwicz criterion, it is a compromise between the maximax and the maximin criteria. In this criterion, we will compute a coefficient of optimism or alpha. This is the measure of the decision maker's optimism. So kung gaano ka ka-optimistic. So the Halwicz criterion multiplies the best payoff by alpha or the coefficient and the worst payoff by 1 minus alpha for each decision, and the best result is selected. So for example, let's take for example yung level of optimism ng company is 0.4. So for the apartment building, sa good economic condition, i-multiply natin yung 50,000 by 0.4. Pero sa poor economic conditions, we will multiply the 30,000 by 0.6 kasi 1 minus alpha. So ang total answer is 38,000. For office building, 100,000 times 0.4 minus 40,000 times 0.6, that's 16,000. Bakit minus? Kasi negative 40 yung poor economic decision. For warehouse, that's 30,000 times 0.4 plus 10,000 times 0.6, that is equal to 18,000. So among the three, ang highest na nakuha nating result is yung sa apartment building, which is 38,000 pesos. So we will choose apartment building kasi according to Halwicz criterion, ito yung best decision. The last and definitely not the least is the equal likelihood criterion. The equal likelihood or Laplace criterion multiplies the decision payoff for each state of nature by an equal weight, no? Thus assuming that the states of nature are equally likely to occur. So in this case, dahil dalawa lang yung state of nature, 50-50% yung likelihood. So in the apartment building, computing it again, 50,000 times 0.5 plus 30,000 times 0.5, that's 40,000. For office building, 100,000 times 0.5 minus 40,000 times 0.5, that's 30,000. And for warehouse, 30,000 times 0.5 plus 10,000 times 0.5, that's 20,000. So comparing the three, again, ang highest ulit natin ay yung apartment building, which is 40,000. Okay, so those are the 5 criterion that we will use for decision making without probabilities. Again, number 1, maximax. Number 2, minimax. Maximin, number 2. Number 3, minimax regret. Number 4, Halwicz. And number 5, equal likelihood. Now, I will show you how to use all this criterion in MS Excel. So I have encoded here the real estate investment example. So meron tayong apartment building, office building, and warehouse. And then the good economic conditions is 50,000, 30,000. Ayan, so these are the given. So first is we will compute first for the maximum and minimum for each decision. So for the maximum, ang formula natin is equal sign, max, and then i-select lang natin yung cells kung saan mo gusto computing yung max. So C7 times D7. So ang maximum daw for apartment is 50,000. Let's just drag it pababa. Okay? So yun, kung napapansin nyo, lahat ng maximum is lahat ng mga good economic conditions. For minimum naman, let's just type equal sign min and then highlight select the cells. So C7 to D7 ulit and then drag it pababa. Again, if you will observe, the minimum are all those na nasa poor economic conditions. So for the maximax decision, lahat ng mga maximum, kunin natin ang pinaka-max doon. So, kaya nga maximax. So ang formula is max yung E7 to E9. So ang max natin ay 100,000 and alam natin na ang 100,000 na yun is ang office building. So i-type lang natin dito na office building ang ating pipiliin kapag maximax. Pag maximin naman, ano ang pinaka-maximum sa mga minimum? So let's encode max, minimum. That's 30,000. And we all know that 30,000 pertain to apartment building. Okay. So that is how you do maximax and maximin. Now, for the minimax regret decision. First, we will compute for the first for the regret. So in computing the regret, the formula is maximum ng tatlong to minus the cell, which is 50,000. So dahil common yung maximum sa ating formula, then lalagyan natin siya ng dollar sign. Okay? Para madrag lang natin. Okay? So we will do the same thing for poor economic conditions. That's maximum ng tatlo minus the cell. Okay. So Now, we compute for the maximum for each row. So that would be max for the row. Okay. And then the minimax regret is the minimum, so mean, of all the max. So alam natin na yung 50,000 is the apartment building. Okay. Now let's go to Halwicz. For Halwicz, our alpha given is 0.4. So type 0.4. For the 1 minus alpha, let's just make a formula. 1 minus the alpha sa taas, C25. So that would be 0.6. So for the apartment building, the amount is, let's make a formula. So that would be equal sign, good condition times the alpha plus poor condition times the 1 minus alpha. Yung alpha tsaka 1 minus alpha, common sa ating formula. So lalagyan natin ng dollar sign, yung C25 tsaka yung C26 para madrag lang natin. So when we drag, ang apartment is 38, ang office building ay 16, at ang warehouse ay 18. So we will choose or select the apartment building. For equal likelihood, then the formula is equal sign, good economic decision times 0.5 plus poor economic conditions times 0.5. So that's 40,000 for apartment building. We just drag it pababa. Then 40, 30, and 20, we will choose again apartment building. So that is how you use Excel in making decisions without probabilities. So we will now proceed with decision making, this time with probabilities. So for example, same example pa din, except that meron ng certainty or meron ng probability of happening yung bawat state of nature. So for good economic condition, the state of nature, the probability is 60%. While for the poor economic condition, the probability is 40%. So what are the tools that we will use? First is the expected value. The expected value is computed by multiplying each decision outcome under each state of nature by the probability of its occurrence. So, i-multiply lang natin dun sa probability of occurrence. So, for example, for apartment building, sa good economic conditions, that's 50,000 times 0.6 plus 30,000 times 0.4. Kasi 0.6 yung probability na maging good yung economic condition, tapos 0.4 naman yung maging poor economic condition. So, ang total is 42,000. For office building, that's 100,000 times 0.6 minus 40,000 times 0.4. That is 44,000. And warehouse, 30,000 times 0.6 plus 10,000 times 0.4. That's 22,000. So comparing the three, the highest among them is 44,000, which is the office building. So that is for expected value. Next is for expected opportunity loss. So para rin siyang regret, pero yung bawat regret, imumultiply lang natin with probability. So the expected opportunity loss is the expected value of the regret for each decision. Kasi nga same lang ang meaning ng regret tsaka opportunity loss. The expected value and expected opportunity loss criterion will result in the same decision. So we are expecting na office building pa rin yung magiging answer. So we have computed the regret table kanina na, no? So 50,000, i-multiply lang natin sa probability times 0.6 plus 0 times 0.4, that's 30,000. For office building, 0 times 0.6 plus 70,000 times 0.4, that's 28. Sa warehouse, 70,000 times 0.6 plus 20,000 times 0.4, that's 50,000. So in our situation, we will choose the lowest kasi opportunity loss to. So we will choose the lowest expected opportunity loss. So in this case, that is office building. Okay. Now we will go to expected value of perfect information. Before we go there, let's first show how to do expected value and expected opportunity loss sa Excel. So, let's create another sheet. And then, so nandito yung example natin. Apartment, office, warehouse. Good conditions, the probability of happening is 60%. And sa poor conditions, ang probability of happening is 40%. So the expected value is computed as, very simple, equal sign, B7 times yung probability, B6, plus 30,000, C7 times the probability, 0.4. So lalagyan natin ng dollar sign yung B6 tsaka C6 para hindi sila gumalaw. Okay. So the highest among them is the office building. For the opportunity loss, so expected opportunity loss, again, the good economic conditions, 60%, and poor economic decisions, 40%. Let's first compute for the regret, tulad ng ginawa natin kanina. So maximum of the three cells, B7 to B9, minus the cell, B7. So lalagyan natin ng dollar sign yung B7 to B9 para hindi gumalaw. Okay. So, and then you do again for the poor economic decisions, that's maximum nung tatlo, C7 to C9, minus the cell. Okay, lalagyan natin ng dollar sign para hindi gumalaw. Okay. So this is the regret table tulad ng kanina. And then for the expected opportunity loss, we just multiply it by the probability. So that's 50,000 times the probability, B16, plus 0 times the probability of poor economic conditions. Again, lalagyan natin ng dollar sign yung B16 tsaka yung C16. Okay. So we will choose the lowest expected opportunity loss. So in this case, the same yung result, office building pa rin. So that is how you do it sa Excel. So now we proceed with expected value of perfect information. So ano to? The expected value of perfect information, or EVPI, is the maximum amount a decision maker would pay for additional information. So EVPI equals the expected value given perfect information minus the expected value without perfect information. So ano ba yan sila? So EVPI is also equal to the expected opportunity loss for the best decision. So in this case, yung EOL natin is 28,000. Let's see kung same sila. So the decision with perfect information is yung pinaka-perfect na decision for each state of nature. So sa good economic conditions, that's 30,000 times 0.6. Tapos dun sa poor economic conditions, that's 30,000 times 0.4. So pag perfect ang information mo, ang total mong expected value is 72,000. Pero pag wala kang perfect information, yung pipiliin mo is yung office. Yung expected value ng office is 44,000. So when we deduct 72,000 minus 44,000, the EVPI is 28,000. Or the same as the expected opportunities. Okay? So paano natin siya gagawin ngayon sa Excel? So we go again to Excel. And then this is the given. And then let's compute for the expected value. So good conditions ay nasa 60%, while poor conditions nasa 40%. To make the expected value, compute the expected value, that would be 50,000 times the probability plus 30,000 times the probability. So, lalagyan natin ng dollar sign para hindi siya mag-move. Okay? So, the expected value without perfect information is equal to 44,000. The expected value given perfect information is yung maximum ng good economic conditions times the probability plus yung maximum ng poor economic conditions times the probability. Okay? So, yung without perfect information, that's the maximum of all the expected values. And then the expected value of perfect information is just the given perfect information minus without perfect information. So that's 28,000. Okay? You can also put this in a decision tree. A decision tree is a diagram consisting of decision nodes represented as squares, probability node as circles, and decision alternatives as branches. So, an example of a decision tree looks like this, no? Pero we will not dwell into this already. There are applications that help you make decision trees. Our last topic is utility. So for example, merong nagtanong sa inyo, gusto mo bang bumili ng insurance? Normally, bumibili tayo. No? Kahit for example, the probability of having an accident is 0.008 lang, while the probability of no accident, 99.2%. So this is the decision. When you purchase insurance, you will pay $500. When you do not purchase insurance, tapos nagka-aksidente ka, you will pay 10,000. So when we compute for the expected value of this, sa purchase insurance, 500. Sa no insurance, 80 lang. So kung iisipin mo, ang gagawin natin is, wag ka na lang bumili ng insurance. Ang baba ng expected cost. So mas mataas yung expected cost ng pag bumili ka ng insurance. Pero most of the time, bumibili pa rin tayo. Bakit yon? Because of utility. What is utility? Utility is a measure of personal satisfaction derived from money. So kahit mahal, okay lang kasi nasatisfy ka naman. Utiles are units of subjective measures of utility. And kapag risk averter ka, you forgo a high expected value to avoid a low probability disaster. So for example, yun na nga, kahit mataas yung expected value ng insurance, bibilin mo pa rin kasi ayaw mo magkaroon ng low probability disaster. Pero pag risk taker ka, you take a chance for a bonanza on a very low probability event in lieu of a sure thing. So what does this mean? Lahat ng diniscuss natin na decision-making process, nakadepende pa rin talaga yan sa optimism ng decision maker at sa utility ng decision maker. So whatever the expected value or etc., depende na yan sa attitude mo kung ikaw ay risk averter or risk taker. So, yon. We end the presentation there. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed our video for today. Don't forget to like this video. If you like this video and you want more of these videos, please subscribe to my channel and please share this channel and this video to your friends and colleagues. So thank you very much. This is Sir AJ again. And this is Accounting by Sir AJ. And we'll see you again in the next video. Bye!